What if I told you that the giant straw hat is nothing compared to other things Imu keeps in that frozen chamber? Every time Oda reveals a glimpse of something, there is always something way bigger hidden behind it. The straw hat was just a way to reveal this mysterious place. After Luffy got his new bounty, Imu saw the poster and compared Luffy's straw hat to the giant straw hat locked in the frozen chamber. It was a perfect way to reveal this place. This doesn't mean that the giant straw hat is the most important item kept here, and especially not the only one. There are clearly at least 6 other chambers. It must also be noted that we've not seen many places in Mariejois, and that makes sense, as it's one of the most mysterious locations in the whole world, and won't be fully revealed until the final arc. But still, we have seen a few important rooms. The Room of Authority. Every time we see the Gorosei, they are in this room. It is also the usual meeting place between the Gorosei, Akainu, and other people whom the Gorosei have granted access to. The Room of Flowers. It's a beautiful room filled with grass, trees, and flowers, with butterflies flying around as well. This is the place where Imu usually spends their time, and we know that a large portrait of Nefertari D Lily is hung on one of the walls. It's a secret room, but still we've seen some characters visiting Imu there, like Gunko, Rox D Zabek, and possibly others too. The empty throne, it's kept on top of a 3-level platform, and has several swords and axes planted in the floor of the 1st and 3rd levels. It almost feels like a touristic place when Imu's not there, but when Imu sits on that throne, we've seen the Gorosei, Nefertari Cobra, Herald, and other characters visiting. The only room where we've seen no one inside except Imu is the secret room known as the Lost Chamber. Rumors among the castle guards say that people go missing whenever they find the chamber and see whatever's inside. This room seems to be Imu's biggest secret, and maybe not even the Gorosei or the Holy Knights have access to it. It's a dark frozen place somewhere below Mariejois, as we saw a long descent of stairs before Imu got down there. So, let's discuss why this place is so mysterious and what could be kept inside it. As mentioned, this room seems to be the most personal one to Imu. Even the name of the room itself, the Lost Chamber, gives us hints about the Lost Century. The giant straw head is one of the artifacts kept down there, but it's not the most important thing. Oda is clearly saving the most important part for the future. Initially, the silhouette of Imu appears to suggest a female figure, but what's intriguing is that Ivankov's dialogue reveals that Imu is a man, as clarified through Japanese terminology. Ivankov used a specific term reserved for male celestial dragons in chapter 1086. It's known that this Japanese word, meaning saintess, is added to female celestial dragons, while the word saint is added to males. When Ivankov referred to Imu, he used the term indicating that Narona Imu is a man, according to the information documented in the book he possesses. The book Ivankov was reading is called Genesis, and it's not the Book of Devil Fruits, as some individuals mistakenly believed. It seems clear that this book is considered one of the sacred texts within the context of the One Piece world. As for the Gorosei, we can observe that during their discussions about Imu, they do not use any specific term to indicate gender, opting instead to address him using this Japanese honorific. Perhaps the reason why Imu appears with a feminine silhouette, despite being referred to as a man, is connected to the mystery surrounding the disappearance of Queen Nefertari Lily. In chapter 1084, we learned that Queen Nefertari Lily was the only one who didn't participate in taking the oath of never sitting on the empty throne. Meanwhile, the other 19 families, including the Narona family, to which Emu belongs, did take the oath. You probably already know that the empty throne is surrounded by the swords of the families who took this oath, totaling 19 swords. The remaining 20th sword is seen in the flower room. This sword could potentially be the missing sword of Lily and the Alabasta Kingdom. According to Cobra, Queen Lily was expected to return to the Kingdom of Alabasta, but she never did. Her name was completely erased from history, despite her being one of the founders of the world government. Due to Lily's refusal to participate in the oath-taking ceremony that forbade sitting on the empty throne, it can be inferred that she's the only one who can legitimately sit on it. Not only her, but also her entire lineage. Therefore, it's likely that Imu took advantage of this fact. I believe that the matter of oath-taking goes far beyond mere words, and carries a powerful force capable of punishing anyone who violates it. It wouldn't be reasonable to assume that all those families failed to consider the possibility that their future generations might not uphold the oath in the distant future. That's why Imu needed to truly take Lily's body. Imu's success in this regard is manifested through the use of 2 distinctive techniques of the Ope Ope no Mi. These techniques were referenced by Doflamingo in chapter 761, namely the personality transplantation technique and the eternal youth technique. When we revisit Doflamingo's words in that chapter, we find that he hinted at the importance of these 2 techniques of the Ope Ope no Mi while speaking directly to Law. From Doflamingo's words, it can be inferred that the combination of these 2 techniques is the key to seizing the true treasure of Mariejois, granting the user the ability to monopolize the greatest authority in the world. And that authority can only be achieved by sitting on the empty throne. By using the personality transplantation technique, Imu took Lily's body, while Lily became trapped in Imu's original body. It's likely that Imu's original body has been preserved to prevent its decay, either through freezing or embalming, and that this body is located in one of the secret chambers of Mariejois. Before I reveal all the hints Oda's been leaving throughout all these years, I want to show you such concepts already exist within One Piece. Moria has already done something similar with oars, but there are more, non-direct foreshadowings. Yanji revealed to his brother that human beings can be artificially created. He explained that their father, Judge, participated in a research team where he studied and developed weapons alongside Vegapunk. Germa 66's present soldiers are artificially manufactured humans created using the cloning technology of the Germa Kingdom. While being cloned, they're kept in culture fluid capsules in a secluded section of the In-Smoke Castle. These capsules look strikingly similar to the capsules used by the Alcor Life Extension Foundation. So, what is that? It's the most famous organization dedicated to cryonics, based in the United States. Cryonics is the practice of preserving a person, or sometimes only their brain, at extremely low temperatures immediately after legal death, with the hope that future scientific advancements might be able to revive them and cure whatever caused their death. There are two main options: whole body preservation, in which the entire body is frozen, or neuropreservation, where only the brain is preserved, containing memories, personality, and identity. This parallels the Ope Ope no Mi's personality transplantation technique perfectly. What's especially interesting is that the name Lily can be written in numerical language as 661. When we revisit the chapter bearing this number, we find that it's the very chapter where the personality transplantation technique was first used in the story, when Law swapped the personalities of the Straw Hat crew members. After this chapter, Oda refrained from showing this technique again. And one chapter before the body swap, chapter 660, Nami and Chopper discovered the frozen giants at Punk Hazard. Seems like too many coincidences. After Emu implanted his personality into Lily's body, that body then underwent the Eternal Youth operation. This leads me to believe that the true treasure of Mariejois is not Emu himself, but rather Lily's body. Returning to the cover of chapter 484, we see Vivi surrounded by white water lily flowers. These flowers are symbols in Egyptian culture of eternal life, continuous renewal, and immortality, which further supports the hypothesis that Lily's body has indeed obtained eternal life. If this assumption is correct, and Emu and the Gorosei already achieved their goal by attaining eternal youth, then why were they ready to pay 5 billion for the Ope Ope no Mi, making it the most valuable devil fruit in the story? It costs as much as Luffy's Nika devil fruit. In Romance Dawn version 2, Oda revealed that Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Mi also had a value of 5 billion. Is the Ope Ope no Mi truly as valuable as the Nika fruit? Wouldn't it have lost its value by now, since they already obtained what they wanted from it? The answer is revealed in Doflamingo's speech, where he explains that the Ope Ope no Mi techniques he mentioned allow an individual to seize the treasure of granting them supreme authority and posing a direct threat to Emu's rule. There are a lot of similarities between Emu and Doflamingo. Emu is a false god, while Doflamingo is a false king. Just these images alone are enough to clearly see the parallels between them. And let me show you one especially interesting detail. Most of you probably know about chapter 699. We can clearly see Emu-sama reflected in Kuzan's glasses. There are many theories suggesting that Kuzan is after Emu, which might be true. But during this moment, Kuzan was actually looking at Doflamingo. What if this was another subtle hint from Oda showing a deliberate parallel between Doflamingo and Emu? Emu also has some interesting connections with Moria. I already mentioned that Moria used a similar tactic when freezing ores. But that's not what I want to focus on here. What's more interesting to me is Moria's ability to control shadows. After all, Emu is often portrayed as one massive shadow. We also saw strange giant shadows near Thriller Bark, and as many theorize, those shadows might represent Emu's true form, possibly Onamibozu. And if that's true, then why was Emu following Thriller Bark? The specific detail I want to focus on in this video is Moria's strange assassination attempt. At Marineford, Doflamingo, who shares many similarities with Emu, was the one given the mission to eliminate Moria. As Doflamingo himself revealed, the order came from someone much higher up than Sengoku, which strongly implies that it was related to the Gorosei or even Emu. The stated reason was that Moria was too weak to remain a Shichibukai. But is that really true? We haven't seen this happen to any other Shichibukai. Even when the Shichibukai system was completely abolished, the Marines attempted to capture Mihawk and the other former warlords. So why didn't they try to capture Moria as well? And most importantly, How did Doflamingo know that the orders came from above Sengoku? Doflamingo was not in direct communication with the Gorosei. He was officially receiving orders from Sengoku. Even after the time skip, when he was playing his dangerous games with the world government, Doflamingo was only shown communicating with Fujitora. And yet, somehow, Doflamingo still knew that those orders came from above Sengoku. Unlike most other characters, Doflamingo knows the secrets of Mariejois. He knew exactly who wanted Moria eliminated, and there must be a deeper reason behind it. Does Moria's devil fruit somehow counter Imu, or Imu's abilities? Like this video if you want to see a separate dedicated video about this topic. Now let's get back to Lily, Vivi, and why Imu is keeping a body in the frozen chamber. What if the reason that Imu hides his body beneath long clothing is due to suffering from some severe skin disease that can't be cured, surpassing the severity of amber lead syndrome or sapphire scale, thus creating the need for a new body? It could be another reason entirely, but it's clear that Imu needs a new body for some reason. In chapter 1086, Imu requested the Gorosei to bring Vivi. According to the specific Japanese term used, Imu's request did not include any threats or hostility toward Vivi. Instead, Imu expressed a desire for Vivi without any intention of harming or killing her. Furthermore, it's worth noting that Vivi is the only person whose poster Imu treated with extreme care, without tearing it apart or showing any hostile intent. The posters of powerful characters, Luffy and Blackbeard, were torn apart, including the poster of one of the ancient weapons, Shirahoshi. This could be an artistic way of saying that Imu needs Vivi alive, but the other three are dead. Therefore, if these assumptions are correct, it seems that Vivi's body is the true target Imu is now seeking to transfer into. And Imu was very close to achieving this goal. After all, why did Imu appear in front of Cobra? The moment Imu made that decision, Cobra was already dead. The Gorosei knew it as well, since no one is allowed to witness Imu and live. So why did Imu decide to kill the King of Alabasta during the Reverie arc? Because Imu no longer cared. Imu was ready to kidnap Vivi and finally achieve that goal. Vivi was already being held captive by CP0. But thanks to Wapol, who accidentally witnessed Imu and panicked, everything changed. Wapol ran away in fear after breaking into that exact room, and Vivi seized this opportunity by jumping into Wapol's mouth and escaping alongside him. For those wondering why Imu didn't kidnap Vivi before this incident, it's important to remember that Vivi's only 18 years old. During the previous reverie, she was still just a child, and after that, she didn't even remain in Alabasta for very long. Since we're talking about the frozen chamber, I want to bring up another small detail that might be connected to it. What if the name of the ancient kingdom was Mariejois? The crosses seen throughout the area seem to have ties to the sun god Nika, and we can also see crosses above the walkways inside the frozen chamber. The idea that the ancient kingdom's name was something modern-day people would instantly recognize also makes sense when we consider that the 5 elders ordered Clover to be killed the moment he was about to say the name of the ancient kingdom. That's it for today. Write what you think about this theory down in the comments, and if you want to know the real reason why Imu is keeping that giant straw hat, you can click this video right here. Thanks for watching.